The word skinny is used to define small people, but really majority of the people who are small don't like that word.
Boo-hoo.
Joanne has said this. Joanne has said this 8 times.
Am I your fattest friend?
That's not a good
Oh
way
my
to
god! Oh my god!
Stop it.
Somebody give me my medal.
Anyway,
Say yes or no fast. Don't ignore. Hey guys, Maruki Munyi here.
It's Lydia KM.
And we're back again with another episode of
The Messy In Between.
It's definitely TMI.
Hi guys, and welcome to episode 42.
Yes.
Someone is always off.
I was waiting for you to be off. That's why I was even yamazing. I'm like, I just know. But I should have more faith in you, and I love you so much.
Okay,
I love her.
Let's start with that. Let's start with that, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for the support on our last episode. We love and we appreciate it. Anything that we can do to improve you guys' life, we are willing to do. And sometimes we improve our own.
Honestly, we would be shocked as we are plugging you, even as we are plugging ourselves.
We are
plugging
ourselves.
Plugged. That's it.
Yes.
That's it. Exactly.
Thank you so much, guys. And please follow us on our social media pages, TMI Podcast KE, Lydia KM, and Murugi Munyi, because there we get to interact a lot more with you guys. Whereas here, I feel like on the podcast platform and on YouTube, it's more us giving.
To you, exactly.
Whereas social media, I think we get to be a bit more intimate with you guys. And we have loads of funny topics. We do a lot of TMI talk on our page and have you guys answer. So it's a lot more interactive. And especially if you're trying to feel like a queen betweener.
Exactly.
A queen betweener is definitely following us on social
and
media.
king betweener, because
And
Lydia
king
likes to forget we
betweeners.
have men here.
I don't forget.
You know what's actually interesting? I meet a lot of men who follow us, but then they'll always come and say, "Oh, my wife is such a fan. My wife is such a fan." But I'm always like,
but the way
if
they
it's
call
you, just say,
you know, they're like Lydia,
Exactly.
Lydia KM, who's 31 years old.
You're like,
it's your
"Whoop,
wife.
it's you."
just
Yeah,
your wife
exactly.
who follows
Are you
you.
sure?
Yeah,
Are
I
you
feel like
sure?
we have men. There's one person who did comment. I'm never going to comment, but I've gotten past my toxic masculinity to comment. But I'm here. I'm always here.
And we appreciate
but this is the one
him.
comment.
And we appreciate
you, King
sir.
Betweener.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Ching ching, sweetheart,
Ching,
to
ching.
42 episodes.
Yeah.
We have so many thousands of followers.
I know.
And
Actually, but
thousands of
I don't understand how
subscribers.
we are almost at 50,000 on YouTube, but you guys have not followed us on Instagram. By the way, it hurts.
So then we get so many views, but almost half have not subscribed.
Imagine, guys,
the
please.
math is
The
1
mirth
plus
is
1.
not mirthing.
It's not mirthing.
Guys, come on.
Ching ching.
Ching ching to us. What are we drinking today?
Ledamere Rosé. This is definitely my favorite out of the sweet wine, the sweet white, the sweet red. Sweet rosé is definitely my favorite.
This one is called the Sun Chaser. I think my favorite is the white one. For surprisingly,
So
I don't
interesting.
even understand how. I feel like before last year, I never used to drink white at all. Even rosé, I would mostly just be a red person. But Ledamere has actually made me explore the three now. Like explore the rosé plus the white plus the red, and I love the white.
Can I tell you what it is about the white? Because a lot of whites are not great. So when you taste a great
good
white, you're like, it's like you
Exactly.
found something more special.
Ooh,
If you're trying to get into wine, if they're like quite dry or whatever, these ones are really good in between.
Exactly.
They're sweet but just right.
They're good in between.
They're good in between.
Exactly. They're really nice. Yeah. The white one wave dancer for me is just like my fave. But even this is your fave.
This
right?
is my fave.
This is
Rosé
your fave.
always. I'm a rosé girl.
And wine is always nice for like when you want to drink but you don't want to drink. You know, it's like you want to drink but you don't want to drink.
Yes,
You
that
know what I'm
one
saying?
that one glass. It's like I'm just chilling,
like
I'm just
lightly-
relaxing.
Exactly, yeah, guys.
Yes,
Find it
cheers,
at your
partner.
local wines and spirits or your supermarket.
Yeah.
Pata huko.
Yes, fantastic. Anyway, guys, so let's talk about what we're talking about today, and I'm so glad I'm
I'm already triggered. I'm triggered.
I'm so glad I'm introing this because Joanne is working through some emotions. So
I am, guys.
today we are talking about life in different sizes, right? And I guess as God would have it, me and Joanne are different physical sizes. And because of that, we've both predominantly been in the size that we are, somewhere along that majority of our lives. So that means our life experience pretty much has been in this size. And today we wanted to talk about what the differences are from being, I would say smaller because there's people who are way smaller than me, obviously, but from a smaller perspective
And
to a bigger perspective,
So I'm
right?
a size 16. Lydia is a size
I'm a size 10.
Yeah. And when we met, she was even a size 8.
Yeah, I
So
was a size 8.
she's
I usually go size
basically
8,
a
size
small
10
person,
there.
yes.
Yeah, so there are obviously challenges. There are pros and cons to both. Murugi disagrees that there's any con to being small, but
skinny, God.
today we are trying to be a bit more open, right?
Exactly.
So tell me what's one positive. Let's start with positive because I can see
Positive?
you're gearing to go. You're gearing to go on the negative.
First of all, if you've only ever listened to our podcast on a podcast platform, then they don't even know what we look like.
But we've said our sizes, so
exactly,
maybe
yeah.
that might
So just
give
imagine
you-
us exactly. And can I just say that I feel like between the two of us, if I was not us, and the first thing I would see when I'm looking at the two of us, what is the one most noticeable thing about us is the fact that our sizes are different.
The biggest, because even our
The
skin
most-
tone is the
is
same.
the
We
same.
look kind of the
Our
same.
makeup generally most times can be the same, and
Yeah.
sometimes we even have the same hair. We also go out of our way to try and dress the same, guys. As you can see from our t-shirts, we're even in the same kind of outfit. And I think the whole process of like since we started TMI and trying to dress the same, trying to get the same outfits, just has shown me how different life is as a bigger babe versus a smaller babe. To be honest,
I too have obviously
Have
realized
experienced,
because I think okay, go on. You say yours then.
about what?
What's your point?
Oh,
Or you were just talking
I was
in
just
general?
talking general.
Okay,
yeah.
fine. So yeah, when we obviously are trying to get brands or brands want to send us clothes and we are talking about sizes, you see a lot of the times they might not have a bigger fitting, but there's
Yeah.
always a smaller fitting. But this time around, actually, no, it wasn't.
Yeah,
this
this
was
time
the
around
first
was the
time when
other-
I was a problem.
Like
it was
this slim
yeah,
girl.
it was
have
there
her
was
size.
no, there was
Yeah.
no size for me. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's the majority of the case. And also I want to point out, so Joe saw one of my silk robes that I wear at home and she really wanted one, so I was supposed to give her one for Christmas, right? The journey
We're in
the
April.
journey to get one that is like mine, no, because I wanted to be as close to mine as possible, has been really telling, right? Reason being, a lot of the times when I find one, they would have my size, but they don't have Joe's size.
Yep.
And we were talking about this the other day. When Joe said we should have this topic, I was like, oh my God, yes. Because I'm seeing just by wanting to get Joe something to fit her body, I've seen how many people think it's completely normal to
Yeah.
stop at size 12, which is insane. Because
12 is now you're big.
that's it.
Now you're
That's
big.
it.
because
The
you're so 12,
maximum
yeah.
we have is this. And a lot of people also have small fitting clothes. So yes, you might be stretching to size 20, but that size 20 could easily be a size 16 anywhere else. So you're making, you're expanding it, but really not, because the way your clothes fit, everyone has to do 2 sizes up. Then
Yeah.
obviously the people who are maybe like size 16, size 18 won't have it because you're maxed out because
Yeah.
of the small fitting. So I empathize with that.
Oh, girl,
I
yeah.
empathize with that more now because of actually walking that walk than anything else. I personally feel like I give you way more empathy and room and niceness than you ever give me.
As
when
you
it comes-
should. As you should. Because the world is built for... actually, I was reading an article the other day about like an unpopular opinion about weight is that thin will always be in. That was one
I remember
of the
you read it out
when I
loud.
mentioned, I
Yeah.
said thin will always be in. Which I find it's very contrasting because I feel like in Africa, being plus size is a good thing. People love when you're plus size. There are lots of men who are like, they only want to date women who are plus size. But it's even like a certain kind of plus size. I feel fortunate enough that I am the right kind of plus size. It's like I like shapely and what it's like,
yeah.
Slimmer waist and then huge hips. But there are many people who are not the right kind of plus size. But for thin women, it's like you'll just always be accepted anywhere. In Africa, in Europe, in the US, whatever. Me, there I live Kenya. Done.
Okay, fine. So let me share one of the things which living in a smaller size sometimes is not always seen is living in a smaller size as a Black woman, right? And or an African woman. 100% of the time, the amount of things that you hear about how big your ass needs to be, how big your hips need to be. That's my man, and I must stick
You
beside
stick
him. I must stick
Close the
beside
door,
him,
right? Close
puppy.
the door, puppy. Funga too.
Ooh,
Now
nice.
we've already. I was like, is he farting?
Anyway, one of the messaging is that bigger, more voluptuous is better. As much as it's the right kind of voluptuous, it's still voluptuous. It's still outside of what probably even my body is capable of being. Because sometimes you might have a body type where you get big, you're round, right? When I was I was a bigger, maybe like size 12 or something like that. My breasts were so big, right?
Okay,
but I
you
wasn't
definitely
like
don't look like
shape.
this one.
Exactly.
It would be more the Kikuyu type body.
big boobs, that's it. That's all you have. So now when in the Black community, I don't know how it's not so much as a privilege the way you see it. I'm not trying to say it's the same struggle as if you are plus size and also you don't have the shape that is required, but it's still some struggle. And I
get that.
remember
Yeah.
actually growing up in England, so it's like there's the white skinny, and no Black girl actually wants to be that white skinny. Like, you know, many people don't aspire for that really in our community, right? So then when you go into a different layer, then there's this what's preferred in the Black community. And as I'm saying, as much as it is the, you know, slim thick, that's the one.
Yeah.
We don't want a belly.
You're not fat.
We don't want arms. We just want
only hips and bum. Hips and bum, that's it.
Yes, and of course, if that's not how you're shaped, that's also a struggle as well. So that's one thing I think maybe people don't see as much.
I guess so. That makes sense.
Okay.
I'm
glad we
sort of
started
see,
off to an
I can sort
empathetic
of see that.
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to dating, since you mentioned like dating in terms of like people being attracted to you and things like that, like what they would want. One thing that slim people, I don't feel like you guys ever have to like contend with, assuming let's say you're online dating, when you speak to somebody who has never seen you before, do you guys ever feel the pressure to like disclose that actually I am a slim babe? Because when you're plus size, you feel the need that this person needs to know before he goes any further. I need him to know that I'm thick. Because if you meet me and I'm thick and you're like, oh, I'm not really into that, that'll be awkward.
Okay, so maybe I can't speak for somebody who's on the extreme side of small. Because then there's people who are like when you look at them, they are like very, very small, and that's just how
like
they're
Ayana.
built. Huh?
Like Ayana on Love is Blind. Remember how Ayana was like small, and she used to say like she feels like she's a 13-year-old boy.
Okay,
she's,
yeah,
like,
but
really
her, I
small.
feel like she's tiny in general. I'm talking about somebody who might be like the average height, but they're skinny, right? That's another struggle. But me personally, I've never thought to disclose my size. So maybe that's one struggle.
So that's a struggle. And I know like many women have reached out to me and said that when they're dating someone, especially if it's like maybe you met on Instagram or you met on Facebook or something and you don't really post stuff, you feel the need. It's like at what point, it's almost like being a single mom. It's like at what point do you disclose and tell them, by the way, I'm a size 16 or I'm a size 14? The same way Sheikh, you were kept asking,
That's
like,
unacceptable.
can I carry you on my shoulders?
God.
You know, it's like it's unacceptable. But is it because if he doesn't want to be with a fat person, he doesn't want to be with a fat person. You know what I'm saying?
It, but,
he should not have been on Love is Blind, But I mean, like when it comes to like the online dating, it's usually like, I remember before I met Zach, it's like if I was dating online, I was like, I need this person to know exactly what I look like. So like my Tinder profile would have like my first picture is a body picture, so that you're aware that this is what I look like.
Okay, fair. Maybe that's definitely something which I probably wouldn't. I've never thought of that myself. What's okay? So me, first of all, that my biggest struggle was that like the how you walk the life as a small black woman as opposed to like the voluptuous one. My other one is there isn't enough space. Even in friendships.
You have taken up all the space.
No,
so
oh my God.
Okay, wow. So there's no space. I move.
Oh my
I move.
God.
Let me move. Are my hips too much for you?
Are you done?
Is there no space here?
Are you done?
Sorry.
Anyway, there's not enough space for number one, sensitivity, or just even hearing any issue of somebody who struggles with a smaller body issue. Right? So, for example, there's actually somebody who messaged us. They're just like, all they see is assistance on how to deal with losing weight, how to be more body confident when you're a bigger plus woman, but they never talk about maybe how it feels like if you're trying to add weight and you're struggling, or maybe your body is just really small and you're struggling to accept that. And guess what? I don't think that's a problem. I'm just saying this is just a difference in how our life experiences is, because I understand, because the world has been so, being small is better, blah, 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 blah. When it comes time to give space for people to, like, we can't have a group for people who are struggling with alcohol addiction and people who don't, it's like we get a group for help for people who have been marginalized. So I get that.
Same as like white black racism issues.
I know. What do you need a support group as a white person for? So I definitely get why it's done. But if you are walking in that walk where you don't feel as confident in your body when you're small, I don't think there's enough space.
Okay, I completely agree with that. But sometimes I feel like those people ask the wrong people. Like they need to find, maybe someone needs to just form a community for people. For
I
small
think
people
that's
who are
what
going
needs to happen
because
more than
when someone DMs me as a plus size woman and asks me, please give me tips on how to gain weight.
Yeah.
I find that super insensitive. Like I
Oh,
feel
that's
so upset.
interesting.
I'm like, why would you come and ask me? You know how much I have struggled to lose weight. Why are you asking me for tips on how to gain weight? I was born fat. It's not like I went out like, oh, how can I get fat? I really need tips. Like me, that's not my struggle. So you can't come and ask me now, how do I then, get fat? I feel like be sensitive. Be
I
sensitive
personally
towards that.
feel
Yeah.
like there are people who kind of use that as like it's kind of a backhanded.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's like if I'm talking
yeah.
about I want to lose weight, it's just like, oh my god, me,
Hey, May,
I
I
trying
could
to lose weight.
gain.
I think
Yeah,
there is that part. The person who I'm referring to messages on TMI, and they were just
okay.
like they don't feel like there's enough voices talking about what their life experience is when you're very, very small and you're not feeling like you're into your body the way that you'd want to, So I definitely feel like there's balance, but that's one of the things that's different.
Okay, forget that person. What about for a person like you with your body size? Do you feel like there's space for you in the world to talk about your body issues? Not in this friendship, in the world.
Definitely not in this friendship.
In this
I can tell you that.
She keeps saying that, but I 100% empathize with like. Let me tell you guys, when we first met, when we were working at this TV station, I remember we had an episode where we were talking about our body issues. Me, I was talking about, obviously, I feel like I've been bigger my whole life. I'm trying to lose weight and everything. And she said her biggest body struggle. I remember even before you said that, I was like, you surely, what the fuck are you coming to share here?
It's my
What are
biggest
you coming?
general,
You know?
like, yeah.
So I
feel
mean,
like,
but biggest general, like, in terms of your body only. And she said that it was the fact that she feels like there's nothing that stands out about your body. It's just like normal. It's just like, okay, so here's a body. It's like, what is
there's
no big boobs,
the people who
there's
are
no
really
waist.
on the curvy side
Yeah.
are on the curvy side. The people who are on like tiny girls are with tiny girls.
Yeah.
I'm somewhere in the middle. In
Yeah.
fact, I've always said that my skin tone is like the average
just normal.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I just look at normal.
Like you'll walk by and he'll just be like, oh,
It was
I think she
lit-
walked
yeah,
by,
yeah,
But like,
it
I feel like,
doesn't
wow,
stand
hey, look at
out.
that big ass. And I
Yeah.
completely empathize with that. What I find difficult to empathize with for my dear friend here is when she comes and says that, oh my God, I've put on weight. I was a size 8 and now I'm a size 10. And I'm like trying to lose weight. And I'm like,
how can you not empathize?
in my
that?
mind, I feel like I get where you're coming from, but because from me, I'm coming from the point of view of, it's almost like as if I am a really poor person and you're coming from the point of, oh my God, you come and tell me the poor person. I had this job where I was earning, $1 million per month, but now they've reduced my salary. It's only $800,000 a month. I really don't know what to do. And me, I'm a poor person. That's how it feels.
That's
That's what it feels like to me. It's just like, you, what are you complaining about? Your body is beautiful. Like, if I had even your size, but like even add a bit of fat here and there, I'd love it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I've never considered it that way, especially when I'm talking to you. I've just considered it that because you understand what it's like to want to lose weight, it's like the perfect home for me because you'll be able to be like, oh, okay, lady, I think that what you can do is like definitely cut carbs. I thought I feel like that's something which we can actually have a conversation
your point
about.
of view,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you would know, like, what the things that I can do, as opposed to look at me with my small tiny problems. I never saw it that way. However, the way Joe has reacted enough times, I die with my issues. What is happening with that's not just problem. That is not just problem. It's not.
But also, you see, I feel like it would be different for someone who maybe hasn't had their weight as an issue, so to speak.
Yeah.
We've met people, like remember at our previous job when we met this one babe who was plus size, but she was extremely proud of the fact that she was plus size. Like she used to say the word fat all the time. And she's like, I'm fat.
yeah.
And like it was like almost like a mark of honor and joy. Maybe for me, because
And she was upset that plus size women lose weight.
Exactly.
She was actually kind of
That's
like
actually one of
sell
my
out.
points. She's like, Sella, how can you be trying to lose weight kind of things? Like, because she loves being fat so much,
Yeah.
right? So for me, I feel like maybe my reaction to that is because I'm still triggered by my own like weight loss struggles. So maybe that's why it's such a triggering thing. Maybe someone who is like Tess Holiday perhaps would be able to talk to you about losing weight without feeling anything, because maybe for her weight has not been like a lifelong struggle or lifelong issue kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I definitely get that. I
Yeah.
empathize with that. Another thing I would say is that there's a lot of when maybe you have especially issues with with either extreme, but let's just say like on the size of being plus size, if that's been a struggle for you like all your life, like you're saying, I feel like one thing I noticed a massive difference is that there's a lot of identity with your body. A lot of identity with your body, right? So the other day, actually almost every time I go to see my grandma, I tell you guys how much she tells me how fat I am.
If you don't know that story, then follow her, Lydia KM.
Every time I go to see my dad's mom, she's just like, wow, what a lot. I mean, you
are so fat.
Honorete.
I've never visited your grandma because what will she say about me?
Says that all the time. Ooh. And every time I do, I post it. Even sometimes I post her saying it because she's there, right?
God.
And somebody had messaged me, they're just like, don't you think like that's a bit insensitive? And I never considered.
You didn't think it was insensitive?
Not at all.
Okay, because she's your grandma.
No,
I feel
not
like
even
if it's
that.
me and every time you come, I'm like, hey, Lydia, but you're getting chubby. Wow, that feels insensitive. It's because she's your grandma and because she's old and because them generally they don't have those kinds of boundaries.
But funny enough, even when maybe somebody messages me, like the other time you had told me that somebody had asked on the team, am I pregnant, right?
Guys?
I don't know. I see my body in like there. My body is there and I'm here. Like it would be like, okay, I've added a bit of weight. Like right now I've added a bit of weight. I'll lose a bit of weight. I don't have as much attachment, but that's because my body has not been such a focal point of maybe my growth or my struggle. I just feel is that,
which is the opposite of now
and
me.
That's something which I've realized is a difference. And I empathize is that any comment actually about someone's body who has had such a struggle, it's like, it takes them on to a different place about who they are. Whereas for me, I'll just feel like, maybe I'll lose weight when I get to it.
Ooh, yeah. And I think that's one of the things I admire most, and sometimes just makes me even resent Lydia. Is like she can just live. She just lives. Yani, it's like even when we go out to eat, guys, and we go out to eat frequently, she'll just like look at the menu and just like order what she feels like eating. Like, oh, this chicken wrap looks nice, and she just orders it. And I'm just like, wow. You're just ordering what you want to eat,
And do you? How is
it? And me, I don't, because I've been trying to lose weight since I was like 12. So every meal is like a decision to either towards or against my weight loss. So literally every meal is a step. Every decision, every night, even every drink is like, oh, are you losing weight or are you putting on more weight? You see?
Goodness,
so it's like everything is so triggering. Seeing other people actually just live their lives so unencumbered by the decisions of their body and their weight can be so triggering for someone. By the way, so triggering.
Okay, so I didn't maybe see it as a triggering point of view, but I realized they actually, especially, so here's the thing, something I've noticed since you got lipo. So it's like we went from I'm really struggling with my body to I have an amazing body. And I get that. That's why you did it. Yeah. But all of them still about my body.
I know.
Yeah. And I was just like, actually, this is really interesting because it's like we've just moved the story, but the story is still revolving around.
And the funny thing is that,
and I validated, by the way,
you do, but you have made me feel like not made me feel like, but the more I have conversations with you, the more I feel like I am almost living in bondage, honestly. And I feel like many plus size women live in bondage. And I was even telling Lydia another day that I have been trying to lose weight, but maybe some part of me is constantly sabotaging my weight loss journey because it's such a huge part of my identity that I'm like, if I do one day lose the weight, and then I'm now Lydia says now. So who is Morugi? What is Morugi? What am I posting about? What about all the women who are like, wow, I wish I could be confident like you at your size. Wow. Oh my gosh, I love your curves and whatever. Then what happens to that person,
And I find that interesting, and I continuously try to affirm you out of it because it's not real. It's an imagined sense of identity because I've never seen you as actually, in fact, because I know, of course, you do identify with your body, but there's so many ways that I see Morugi without any of the weight loss and I see more of that. So sometimes when you are emphasizing so much on your body, I have to kind of try and get myself to that this is something which is so much part of you, but I seem way more Morugi than...
And I think other people do. It's probably just me who sees it that way. It's you. But I'm really trying to overcome that. I'm really trying to get out of my own head about my body being such a central part of my life, But I realize also, because now we're speaking about the difference differences in our lived experiences as different body sizes, a lot of plus size women are so focused on their bodies. It's like literally you realize how much of your life, your energy, your resources, your everything is spent on, you know, looking smaller, looking okay, losing weight, getting fit. Like so much of your life is focused on that. Like literally from the time you're born to sometimes for poor even till the time they die.
Yeah. And when I just thought of this, do you think that the size you are, you gravitate to people who are the same size?
I don't know. I've actually never thought about that.
Because when I just thought of like, you know, me seeing you as a person, I was like, but what experience do I have around plus size people?
You're right. I actually do. I feel like before I came to Ibru, before I was in my 30s, I definitely was more just friends with people who are plus size because that was so much of who I am. But I think since I became a content creator and like became famous, so to speak, I feel like now it's broadened. Wow. It has broadened up my horizons. And now I am able to, now I feel like I'm able to give, to identify with more of myself beyond just my body. And that's how I'm able to attract friends like you. And like, you know, but before that, I definitely would gravitate towards fat people so that I don't feel like the other, you know. It's like I've mentioned many times that when I joined the TV show with you and Nay and Ayuma, it's like I was just like, wow, look at these three thin girls and our token fat girl.
But then Ayuma was seeing, oh, look at these other girls and the dark girl, because that's her thing.
Girl,
I think. And then Naomi was saying there's us and the light
super light girl.
and then Lydia
was like what are you giving?
Lydia,
what are you giving?
what is happening? And then
oh my god, that's so interesting.
And everyone sees it with those lenses. Everyone sees it with the lenses of whatever it is that they're trying to overcome.
And that's the thing. I really struggle to find empathy for those other struggles. And I pray for God to.
But empathy in general is something you're working on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
it is.
You're shouting the truth now here.
Yep.
As you sip the confidently sipping your Ledamier. Wow. Anyway, so yeah, I've talked about empathy.
So let me say my part on friendship. I realized that I don't think I've ever had a friend who was fully immersed in, like, you know, wanting to lose weight. I've had maybe people who are like, maybe especially hips, maybe you have like your hips are a bit bigger, or we are all maybe going up and down weight, but not.
Am I your fattest friend?
That's not a good way
Oh my
to
god! Oh my god! I am her fattest friend.
Stop it.
Somebody give me my medal.
Anyway,
Say yes or no first. Don't ignore.
You are my most voluptuous
thank you.
friend.
A simple yes would suffice.
Yes, so I realized that that's an experience which I probably wasn't as immersed in. And so maybe sometimes even maybe like when I come to you to tell you, me, the way I'm seeing it is very kind of aloof. I think this is something that will join us together in this struggle of losing.
Ooh, maybe.
Yeah.
I
So
guess
maybe
so.
that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
Okay.
Anyway, as your
She
fattest
said
friend.
she says she gets it, but it's like, does she? Does she? She gets that so I can finish the sentence and so she can carry on.
There's something that you mentioned when we were speaking about that lady who came on the show and she was like, she felt so betrayed by people who are plus size and trying to lose weight.
And it was weird to really be in between you two.
Right?
It was such a weird experience.
But you see that I for her she's so extreme on that other end. For me, I still struggle to like find what is my balance in between. I really do love and accept myself, and I feel like it's so important for me to model that, especially for my daughters. But also at the same time, I'm like I want to model the confidence, but also I want to work towards being a better me, because I don't want to be fat my whole life, you know. And I like where I am right now, but would I want to be a smaller size? I would. So it's like sometimes finding that balance between confidence and like working on a smaller me can be really difficult to find sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I saw someone saying that to encourage different nuances existing simultaneously, right? I love who I am, but I could work on bettering my health. I love who I am, but really do I need to have 8 glasses of wine every night?
You do not.
You know, there's so many things you can always work on, but still very much loving yourself. And I personally feel like sometimes plus size women don't get that space.
Yeah.
It's either so you're going to the gym, but do you really love yourself? Well, why can't I love myself and go to the gym?
Exactly.
Why can't I love being plus size now, but still want to be a healthier size or a goal that I want to be in? I think those two can exist.
Exactly.
Here's also another thing. I feel like there's you stand for plus size women, and I think that's amazing, right? But sometimes I feel like you're angry on the side of plus size women. Sometimes where I need to search a bit deeper
Yeah.
to find.
I'm angry for plus size women.
As in,
or
you're
at-
angry in general about the unfairness of the way plus size people walk in life.
Oh, yeah.
In general, it's even right now she was shouting at me at the top of my voice. Well, I don't even know what I said. I can't remember what I said.
don't know what she
Something
said.
so simple, but there is part of you that feels. I think you said the word is resentful.
Remember when we went to kids? Well, with you, when we went to kids' house, and she was saying about why black women, something like black women hate other black women because they are constantly trying to leave that group.
Yeah, because you
for
can't
me,
love the group.
You can't love the group you're trying to leave.
Yeah.
And for me, sometimes like when someone messages me and they're like, "Wow, I'm a plus size woman, but I'm so inspired by how confident you are." Like sometimes I love the fact that they identify me with the plus size confidence, but also I hate it at the same time. It's like I don't
right.
want it to be the noticeable thing about me. But right now, I feel like naturally it is the noticeable thing about me because I will wear a short skirt and other plus size women won't. I'll wear tight clothing and other plus size women won't. So it's like, I love that I'm here for you guys, but also I don't want to be with you guys, kind of
That
thing.
is
It's
very
like,
interesting. And I
it's
feel like
so
that's
strange
okay.
place. Yeah, but it feels so awkward because sometimes it's just like, it feels like it's a huge part of my identity, but I don't want to be, but naturally it is.
Let's take a breath on that one.
Girl, right?
Wow.
Yeah. And I guess if I wasn't a content creator or an influencer, maybe it wouldn't be as such a noticeable thing. But because I am, and because when I post a picture, it's like, wow, top 10 plus size creators. It's like, I just want to be with the normal people. I want to be just like top 10 creators. I don't want to be just like the top 10 plus size creators. You know what I'm saying?
Which is why
Yeah.
labeling people sometimes is annoying, because you feel like you're only this one thing. Okay, I think those were my only 2 points that were just like things that like to pick up on like the life experience of a small person. But generally, because I've always been also in like the size 8, size 10, I don't think I've ever walked in a room and ever been really obvious or felt so much look at your size, and unless it's my own insecurities, unless it's my stuff that I'm going through. I don't think the world has ever shown me that there's anything odd about my body, if you get my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like another thing that plus size women go through is that we are so fetishized by men. Like every time a man wants you, it's just like, oh, that big ass, or your hips or your whatever. It's like you, as your body is such a fetish. It's not like, I feel like for you, you can confidently be with a man and be like, okay, maybe he loves me because I'm smaller or because I'm smart or I'm pretty or whatever.
Oh,
for
right.
us, we just know you're here for the ass. Like, just say, it's kind of like, it's like that's what has driven you here. I feel like we are whole fetish. What fetish are you?
I'm not a fetish.
Kikuyu women.
Is that a fetish?
Is it? Maybe George tell us.
George? We don't know. To be determined. To be determined.
But
even that's like hardly ever anyone sees me. It's just like, hi, Kikuyu woman.
Exactly.
It's
You see,
very
this
rare.
is the thing, yeah.
But I've told you, it's because of these things, I'm just very there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's somebody probably right now who has a different experience in a small body. It's just
Can you
mine
guys
happens
please
to be
tell us,
different.
if you are watching on YouTube,
Please.
please comment below and just tell us what a specific thing about your lived experience as a smaller woman or a bigger woman. I would definitely love to know. Me, the continued experience of us ordering clothes of like a brand is working with us and her she's just like, yeah, I'm a size 8, 10, a small, get me a small. I'm just like,
guys, we are working on our stuff.
God. And like we already know, even when they send it, it'll definitely fit her. There's no thing which has ever been sent at you. Oh, wow, this is too small for Lydia. It's not going past her hips. Me, it's 50-50. Will it fit? Will it not fit? Does it stretch? If it doesn't stretch, don't even send it to me because I know it's not gonna fit.
We're working on that. Okay, another thing I've just thought of, the health aspect of our of maybe a
yes.
smaller body is definitely a different experience than you. Your relationship with health in general is completely changed because so much of our health is about our weight. So I realized that it comes kind of a bit more natural to kind of maybe care about how I eat, but this might be because of growing up with my mom who was kind of very health conscious, but I realized I could easily just maybe the way I choose food or my health options seem easier because it's not tied to my self-esteem. It's not tied to the way I look. It just feels like I want to go to the gym. Let's just go to the gym.
Yeah, I guess so. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
whereas if it is tied to your self-esteem or how you look, it is a bigger battle
Food
going
is not,
on.
for us, food is not just food. Food is your
There
ticket
you
to
go.
being thin or your ticket to being fatter than you are right
There you
now.
go.
Yeah, it's
So-
not just I'm hungry.
Right.
We eat. In fact, when Lydia says she's hungry, sometimes I feel so triggered. I'm
Right
just
now,
like,
I'm so actually, I'm so hungry right now. I haven't
nah,
eaten.
but I allow you to be hungry.
Yeah, I
in fact,
haven't
when she says
eaten.
she's left the house, it's like we are at a shoot day. It's like now, like almost 5. It's past 5, right, Nancy?
Yeah.
It's like 5:30. And she's like, oh, you just didn't eat lunch. You just didn't eat lunch. Like you just left the house like that. You were not even. You didn't think what
I
like
feel
eat.
like you're angry. I mean, when
It's
you
just so
ask me,
upsetting. You know, it's just like, why would you not think about what you're gonna eat?
I don't know. It's because I was running late or whatever.
Now you see, those are just like differences where I can never understand that.
Okay,
because
so tell me.
knowing what I'm going to eat at what time, where is it, like who has prepared it, like where it's so
Right,
important to
it's
me because it's like a significant part of my life. So you see, me, I can't just like, oh, you know what, we're just gonna go. It's gonna get to morning and like, oh, we don't have food, but maybe we'll order whatever. No.
Okay,
Not
so
for me.
that's a definitely big one. The relationship to health in general, to food, is a bit more.
Yours is more relaxed, I would say.
Yeah,
It's more like,
I don't think about it with any more intensity than my body needs food and I should eat, or I need to go to the gym because really it's just what I need to do as a healthy person more than the tie to my body. Do you get my point?
Exactly. As
Yeah.
a bigger person, it's definitely more complicated than that. It's even like, okay, I want to go to the gym, but like, will people be looking at me? Or how do I, or even when I post pictures at the gym, let's say I'm squatting and someone sends me a message like, wow, as a plus size woman, even you can squat. Everything is as a plus size woman. It's
Which
not
is-
just Morugi, just you as a person. It's as a plus size woman, you know.
Which Ayuma always used to say is just like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, but there's always
There's
for a
always
dark
that
girl.
for a dark girl,
For a
exactly,
chocolate, or
yeah.
chocolate
You're so
beauty,
confident,
black.
yeah.
It's why
Ooh,
can
plus
you
size
just
queen, just queen, only queen. I know how to be plus size queen. Oh my god.
Yeah, I
Like,
get
ooh,
that.
girl, yeah. It's yeah. And which is, like I said, because I'm a content creator and because, to be honest, that has been so focal even in my success as a content creator and in my ability to even make money as a content creator. So I'm grateful for it. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me that just feels like,
personal
yeah,
stuff,
it's
yeah.
just like, can it just be just me, just as I am, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah. Another thing, I feel like as a content creator, I feel like people definitely identify with a struggle more than anything else, right?
Yep.
So if you don't have a struggle, you see where you fit, right? So it was just like, let's say maybe I'm going to the gym or I'm trying to be healthy. There's definitely a way people look at you that way when you are of a smaller body than when you're, you know, it's more welcomed that you have this goal that you have and then you're trying to work for it. Whereas when you do, it's just kind of like, oh, okay, that's nice. She's going to the gym. Oh,
That's how we see you.
That's that like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, that's
great.
That's great.
You
but
already are
that's
the
it.
thing, but
that's it.
It's because the bigger people
There's
are
there's
working out to
re-
get to where you are.
Yeah.
But for you, you're working out to be strong, to be healthy.
Yeah, it's
but
you're less relatable.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know if that's the truth, but it's the truth.
Ooh.
Yeah. The less you're not attached to a struggle, the less relatable
But
you are.
sometimes, you know, that can be a bad thing or a good thing because sometimes people will look at you as like, this is we're aspiring
Yeah.
to be like Lydia.
But you won't be able to relate to me. You could aspire to be someone. You know, we aspire to be like Beyonce, but I don't know if I relate with Beyonce on any level. It's different. It's definitely, and I see that even the questions people are pose to me it's not like, sister, we're in this together. It's more like,
Can you assist me with this other issue that I've been facing? Oh, Lydia, I've never thought about that.
yeah, it's okay. I feel like, yeah, no, it's totally fine, but it's
totally
definitely a
fine,
difference.
but it's definitely a difference.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
get
that's
that.
part of your success, because the more people who can relate to you and feel like, oh, we're in
I
this
guess
together,
so, yeah.
of course, the more they're able to
And so that's why
attach and support
And
your
this
brand.
is why I can't afford to just like lose the weight, because then what will I be talking about? We were all here together. Me, I've left y'all because me, I've now become skinny.
No,
Bye.
but guess what? You will never not be relatable, because this is how people know you. So
You're
even
right,
if
yeah.
you do change, it's fine.
It's like,
right?
yeah, I will always be able to use
but
that
there's
story.
that struggle of losing weight.
Yeah.
There's Adele who has talked about it. There's that other lady, that comedian. I forgot what's
I
her
know who
name.
you're referring
from
to.
all this. She's Australian and she lost weight.
Yeah.
And she's always been big. Even actually, when I saw, I was just like,
And
who
now
is
it's like,
this?
who are you? Yes,
yeah,
exactly,
and guess what?
you're right.
Now, when she was in the room, who's that?
I
She's
know.
another average sized
Yeah.
white
When you're
blonde
fat,
woman.
it's kind of like it's part of your personality. Because fat people, it's like you're fat, you're funny.
You stand out.
You stand out. It's just like there's just something. There's something. But now you're just like thin like the rest of them.
Yes. And there's different ways people relate to me. Don't get it twisted. I'm just saying in this one way, like when it comes to maybe your body or the struggle or whatever, it's just very different to the way you're going to be received if you are part of the struggle.
Yeah.
Remember, Shiv was saying that sometimes, like, because of where he is with his body, it's a bit intimidating to people who watch. So it's like they don't feel like even trying.
Exactly.
I can't even be bothered
Why-
to
a
try
man's going to
because
come, like, I'm not gonna have
because
those
if
abs.
that's the goal and you're going to the gym, what now? What now?
What are we gonna
You
do?
know?
Yeah,
Whereas
you're
if
so
you
right.
are in it, someone already feels like you can be my partner
Yeah,
in
we
your
can
journey.
be my friend here. I
Yeah.
get that. Also, now that you mentioned health, my last point was that people assume that if you're fat, you're unhealthy. Like given.
Yeah.
Not knowing that someone can be fat because of maybe a disease. Maybe it's like there are people who are fat and they don't even eat that much. But because
Yeah.
maybe it's hormonal issues. Maybe for some of us it's just bad food choices. But for
And
others,
genetics as well
and
play a
genetics,
part.
There's so many different things that can make somebody bigger. And sometimes you'll find that even a bigger person is healthier than a smaller person who doesn't go to the gym, who doesn't eat healthy, who is just like skinny by genetics, but really their body is not functioning optimally. So,
Fact. Also, not every small body is a healthy body. Like Joe said, actually, there's plenty of people who we know who's just like, you could definitely use a carrot. You could, because you don't eat carrots, you don't eat vegetables as an adult, no drinking water,
Lydia
no
said
going
that's
to
a
the
deal
gym.
breaker for her. Deal breaker
Ati,
for her.
a
is
grown
man doesn't eat
man
vegetables.
who doesn't.
I don't like it. But he doesn't like it. He doesn't like fruits and vegetables.
I can't. That is a deal breaker for me.
Oh, really?
Because I'm very health conscious.
Yeah.
Well, not very, because lately. Well, anyway, in general, I'm a health conscious person. So that's number one. Number two, I feel like there's this I've seen people talk about this quite a lot. So when somebody is asked, like, are you here for the plus size movement and all this, and let's say you're a small person, and the first thing you want to say is, yes, I am, but the health, stop.
Ooh.
Stop. Stop.
Pause.
Because automatically you are saying that
Yep.
the reason why somebody's big size or
Is
it's
'cause-
automatically the second you're plus size
Fact.
that you are unhealthy. We need to stop that. We need to stop that. I think if you're a small person, you need to stop making comments about people who are plus size. It's not your place. We need to stop making all of these health. I don't know who made you a doctor to decide what somebody's health is. And I personally feel like if more smaller people just had more grace, it wouldn't be such a us against them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I also just find it interesting how, like, whenever I've had any kind of like social media storm or like, haters on social media, the first thing they are quick to attack is my body,
Yeah.
about me being fat, which is, I always find so curious. It's like, I realize that being my size is like such a huge part of who I am, but I don't feel like now it's a handicap because I don't feel like there's anything I'm not able to do because
Yeah.
I'm bigger. But a lot of women do, and I feel like that just sends such a bad message. But I'm always just so curious, like, why do people feel like calling somebody, now you're fat? Now that's the insult. Like, I know I'm fat. I woke up in the
For
morning and saw
example,
myself, yeah.
but this is like, let's say abroad, the second a black person do something, it's about you're a monkey, you go
Yeah.
straight, because that's the biggest thing
Thing
to
you can see to-
identify. So that's
Ooh.
why usually people will attack that first.
Yeah,
I think
crazy.
that's why. Yeah. Anyway, also another thing is that the word skinny is used to define small people, but really majority of the people who are small don't like that word.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Joanne has said this.
Boo
Joanne has
fucking
said
hoo.
this 8 times. 8 times.
You,
since
but
we
you're
said-
not skinny.
Yeah.
I don't consider you skinny. You're slim.
But how many times has she said right now? Come on.
to
Kuru,
just show
Kuru.
show the difference, the stark difference between skinny people
listen to
and
this.
fat
If
people.
we are making this work, that I would never call you fat, Joe, ever. Even if I'm defining you, it doesn't matter. I
do
wouldn't.
I ever call you skinny?
You say it all the time. Even right here. How many times has she used it?
Have I?
How many times?
I
Don't be
haven't.
afraid.
No,
There you
Nancy,
go.
tell
Vero
us.
is not
Oh,
afraid.
Beryl-
Yeah, she said a lot. She
Okay, but
said a
Beryl is
lot.
skinny. You
No,
know. Oh.
that's not okay.
Oh.
That is not okay,
Oh,
Joanne.
that's okay. You're not skinny. You're great size.
Stop.
I've said it. I've
Oh
said
my
it's a good
God.
size.
You see
but
the
you
problem.
know the thing is that it's a difference between.
Oh my God, Joanne. No, this is the problem. This is exactly
And what do you mean by people don't want to be called skinny? Because the word is descriptive. I don't understand.
So is fat.
So what? Yeah. So a fatter person.
What?
Okay. What is the difference between fat and big?
The same way. It just sounds nicer.
Does it?
Yes, it does. Or a plus size woman. There's a reason why they're called plus size. We can't
Maybe
just
you guys
go
need to
around
have.
saying
So what is the name? What is the plus size
small. Why
equivalent?
is it smaller? Why is it not
Small
smaller?
is better
bigger?
than skinny.
Definitely.
Small. You prefer to be called small than skinny. Beryl, really small.
No.
Small even sounds worse. It sounds like you're a little girl, like you're a child.
No, but if you're
I
going
feel like
to
small is worse.
I prefer to be called smaller.
You see, that's the problem. All you slimmer people need to get together as a group and agree what name are you comfortable with.
Petite. There you go.
Oh, now
We've
after
got one.
5
she's
minutes is
told
when
us.
she's realized if you
smaller,
even you have
petite, but not skinny.
okay, petite. Now
Yeah,
at the end of the
petite.
conversation when you're letting me know,
Yeah.
but thank you so much
Petite.
for that. Petite.
Can you tell me?
You're a beautiful petite.
I don't even think I'm petite, honestly. I just happen to represent you now. But I know if you're a size 6 or a size 4, you're looking at me as size 10. Like, what is petite about this woman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think to me the perfect body to me is at size 10. I feel like size 10 is like it's a great in between you're not super petite, you're not super slim, but you're not fat. You're just like your body's just like perfect.
I would say a healthy size 10 is my favorite.
Which you are. Are you not?
No, I wouldn't say so. I would, but if it's like
what is a healthy size 10?
Like me when I'm going to the gym and I'm working on, I'm eating well,
You
but
went
then
to
I'm
the
a
gym
size 10.
like last week? Didn't you?
Yeah, so that's the perfect one for me. The size, but just a bit more healthier.
I feel like you want to be skinnier. I feel like you want to go back to your size.
No,
8.
me, I more want to be just healthier because I'm here because I've kind of given up.
Don't
on
worry.
going to
Oh.
what? At least a positive one.
least a
Keep
positive.
writing them down. Anyway, yeah, it's everyone has whatever size is good for them. But yeah, I'm just saying right now, it's like I'm just representing petite, but it's only because of our differences, not because I'm actually petite.
And me, I want to say that I'm working on empathizing with the struggles petite women go through.
Are you
but the
actually
reality,
working on them?
yeah, I am because especially of Nelly, because Nelly really helps me.
Okay, yeah, because Nelly helps you.
Do you?
Yeah, Nelly helps you.
Because I wasn't even talking about Nelly. I was saying I empathize and I'm working on empathizing on the struggles that slimmer women go through. But to be honest, just to sum up the conversation, it's obvious that plus size women go through more struggles and have more struggles than slimmer women, right?
And they're definitely far more marginalized, right? Do you know the financial book I'm reading that every 20 pounds a woman or a person or let's say a woman adds, they get 3% less pay.
A plus size woman?
Yeah. Plus size women get paid less.
Yeah.
I don't even know what goes into that. They're less likely to be hired.
Yeah.
They're less likely to be deemed to be lazy. There's so many negative perceptions around it that it actually starts even affecting even the finances. So for sure, I would say they're far more marginalized.
Actually DM'd me and she's like, hey, can you please lend me your corset? I went for an interview the other day and they said that, I feel the guy said that I might scare away the clients because I'm big. So I just want to maybe just like go.
That's not even the environment.
It's not even. It's not
God.
even. And I was like, I feel so bad. I feel so bad for you that you feel like the response to that is not like, fuck him. He obviously doesn't realize what an asset I could be. And your response is like, I need a corset so that I can look smaller in job interviews because that really shouldn't be it.
It shouldn't be the case for sure. But unfortunately, what tends to happen is like you want to take whoever hires you because even your belief about what you can do is already stifled because of the relationship that you do have with your body.
Yeah.
In fact, I feel like that's one of the things that can rule your life more than anything is how you feel about your body. Yeah, but of course we do know that the extremes, the people who have body dysmorphia to the point of anorexia and bulimia, all of these other issues that come with being, or those are actually not necessarily about small
Being
bodies,
small,
but
they
they're on the
tend
extreme.
to be smaller,
On the extreme of smaller people. My mom has worked with girls who are dealing with bulimia and anorexia to the extreme cases so long. So I don't know. I think I learned to empathize with people's bodies have so much more to do with how they feel about themselves more than just I sat down and I ate or I sat down and I decided I don't want to eat.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's more psychological.
That's heavy. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. So also another thing for you, a question, where do you think the line is on the on the fat positive movement, or is there a line, or should there be a line? Because a lot of people argue that the more rampant the body positive or the fat positive movement gets, the more we lean towards it doesn't really matter
How
you eat well or just live without really the consequences
and that's
that go into
actually
it.
I feel like I feel very uncomfortable when like I follow somebody who's super plus size and they're like constantly eating junk, because for me I feel uncomfortable, you know.
But you see
following
that-
I know, and I'm just like for me what the fat positivity is that I wouldn't necessarily come out here and like be celebrating like, oh my god, fat is the best, and you know, eat what you want, do what you want. But I feel like if you're over there doing that, I'm not going to come into your space and be like, hey, someone I don't even know, hey, I think you should look out for your health. No. If it's you as my friend, as Lydia, I feel like at some point I'll be like, I'll have a conversation with you. And I would imagine you would have a conversation with me. Right?
No.
You wouldn't.
I don't
So I
think-
start eating all the junk and I get to like a size 20, I'm a size 22, I'm now a size 30. I'm now a size 30. I'm here.
Before
You're
we
not-
get to me talking to you about your weight, there'll be mountains, dear Lord. There'll be mountains.
Which is so interesting, because when I lose weight, Lydia is the first to comment and compliment me.
because I know that's what you want for your body. So I want to amplify that confidence. I want to encourage you
Okay, yeah, I guess
in
that's
that
a good
journey.
thing. Yeah,
versus,
but you need to also do the opposite, the same. I feel like it's important.
hey, I'll have to take a few shots before
feel
I
like-
have that. Only because
Yeah.
if let's say that is what's happening, I can imagine how you're feeling already.
Yeah.
So for me to be part of like, I don't know,
Okay, yeah, it's not like you don't know that you are putting on weight. Yeah,
of
I
course
guess
you're
so.
aware.
Yeah,
You're very
yeah.
actually Joe is very health conscious.
Yeah.
Well, definitely more than me. Joe thinks about
Which is so annoying, guys.
yeah,
because,
Joe is very
ooh,
health conscious. So I know
try,
you'd be aware. So before I sit you down to tell you, woof, it would be a lot.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
so. That's
but the second
I
you
feel like
lose a pound,
yeah,
I have to
Lydia
cheer
is
you
always
on
my number.
because
I love her.
Yeah,
Everybody
to
needs a
encourage
Lydia
you.
in their life. But me, I think
everyone
personally,
needs
yeah.
a lady. Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say Murugi, but
Ex-
then yeah.
Wow. Okay, and thank you for that
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Where do you think the fat positive Nini needs to be to like where's the limit? What do
I
you
feel
think
like
so?
100%. I think there's no issue with someone being like, I love being fat. I eat whatever it is that I want. I live my life this way. Period. However, to then say that you are also simultaneously in a healthy body might be the problem on the other side. So it's like whatever you want to do, I think people should completely do whatever they want to do, be as big as you want, be as small as you want, but then to pass on the message that all bodies, no matter what size we are in, are healthy is problematic.
yeah, yeah.
That's my only line.
Yeah.
The message towards other people about the truth of the consequences of the body that you're in. When you're on the extreme side of small, these models who are just like situation size 2
And
that's
barfing in
but
the
you can't
bathroom
then
every 2
say
minutes.
you
Yeah,
are
you're so
this is
right.
in a healthy position. The same
Yeah.
way when you're on the extreme side of being big, you can't tell us that you are healthy because your BMI is definitely something like, I don't know, like 700. I mean, what? I mean, that's problematic.
Yeah.
That messaging is what's wrong. But me,
I think I
when
get
I
that,
see
yeah.
even as many people in different bodies, I'm just like, the more this happens, the more we all have space. But your health journey is yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so. I feel that way as well. But I feel like society can, or even you personally as a person, you can feel when you are not living healthily, you know.
Yeah,
And I
but
feel
sometimes
like
it's really hard to admit to yourself because
it's
where do
really
you go
hard,
from now?
yeah.
Yeah, think
Like
about
some
someone
of
like
these-
Tess Daily.
Tess Holiday.
Tess Holiday.
When will you ever get her
'Cause
name right?
Guess
Yeah.
what? There's a Tess Daily in England.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
she's
she's
a
Tess
complete
Holiday.
opposite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, something like that is like, now that's all you're thinking, that you're just famous for that. First of all, Joe, I think you more than survive.
Oh, yeah. You think so?
I don't even think there'll be a
Perhaps.
beat. I don't think there'll be a beat. There's way more to you, I think. But I feel like Tess Holiday, that's what she has.
Actually, yeah,
it's
her whole
become.
career is being a plus size model. So I
Period.
don't feel like
So
she
yeah,
could
you
do-
get it to a size 10. Now what?
Yeah.
That definitely now what? So
And
yeah, so I feel
I had to
sometimes it is
unfollow her
hard.
though, because it was just like, I mean, I get that we are trying to be like positive, but like I've never seen you eat a single vegetable, you know?
Yeah,
Like-
but see, she says that she's healthy. She's like, the BMI is a wrong way of judging weight, which I do agree, but it's not that wrong. I don't think it's that wrong that, you know, sometimes they can just give you a measure. Okay, fine, it's not 100% accurate. It doesn't take into account African bodies and all of these other types of bodies. But I feel like if it's to the extreme.
But how is your body operating? How are you sleeping? How are you breathing? Are you able to walk up and down a flight of stairs? Are you able to work out?
I've seen many interviews where she says that she's very healthy. She runs up and down with her kids.
Okay. So who are we to say?
Who are we? Yeah. So for me personally, that's where the line is. I am perfectly healthy at this size, and we know that the doctors say
we know for sure
you're
not
the number one reason for like so many other diseases. Yeah. That's my line. So anyway, if we've been taught anything, is that people have different reasons for the size that they're in, and being sensitive doesn't change your walk. It just makes somebody else feel comfortable about their walk. You know, it doesn't take away from you at all. So whether or not you are plus size or whether or not you are smaller, petite, as it were, being sensitive to other people's body is definitely different.
Absolutely. I feel like the take home for me is, unless you are invited to do so, make no comment on someone else's body. Whether they are your sister or your cousin or your best friend or your, I don't know, a colleague or something like that, you have no reason to be like, oh, you've put on weight, or oh, you've lost weight, unless it's like you feel like it's something that it's a conversation that you guys have had before, or you're both comfortable having it. Otherwise, don't. Why are we don't need to.
My rule of thumb is you look gorgeous.
You look gorgeous.
If I see somebody who's added weight and I think that looks really good on them, I'm like, you look so gorgeous. Your body looks amazing. That's it. I won't tell them they've added weight or you've added weight, now that looks good, because that person might be struggling to lose weight, and now what have I done to their day? So my rule of thumb is always make general comments that are positive. Gorgeous, beautiful, you're killing it, your body is banging, all of these things, but never really about somebody's weight, because you don't know what they're struggling with. And this used to happen a lot when I was a lot smaller, which is like, oh my God, you're so small. And that time I'm just like, oh my God, how can I just get a bit bigger? That's what I was struggling with. Yeah. That's what I was struggling with. So it's just like, okay, I mean, I know you think you're complimenting me just because of your stuff. Maybe you're trying to lose weight, but maybe I'm not. So just say, oh, your body looks nice.
Yeah.
There's no way you get harmed that way.
Agreed.
But yeah.
Anyway, guys, that was a riveting conversation. Lydia, you can see that I was empathetic throughout the discussion, right?
I think you listened.
I think I listened, yeah. And I feel like I learned something. I feel like I learned something. Like when you talked about some of the points that you gave, it was really...
I'll work on her. And Jesus too work on her. But to be honest, Morugi doesn't exactly create an environment where it's like it's toxic for me. I just know because you're more sensitive with your stuff.
That's it. Yeah, that's why
we need to prioritize that in this friendship.
I look forward to a future where it's not that way, where I'm just like not attached so much to how my body looks and like my body, and then I feel I'll be able to be more of a.
And I feel like you can definitely work on that. Therapy can definitely help because you will realize that despite, no matter how amazing your body looks, like you're not your body.
Yeah.
You're Joanne.
You're just Joanne, as Morugi, as Munyi, myself as I am. We'd love to hear your thoughts, guys. Like, we know this conversation has been heated, and we know you guys have thoughts upon thoughts upon thoughts. If you're watching on YouTube,
sensitive comments only.
Don't comments, exactly. And let's not do any use. You just say, I feel. Yes. Tell us how you feel from your own experience. Because as we have shared our own experiences, we'd love to hear yours as well, guys. Please let us know. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. We are literally on our knees. Please subscribe, guys. We would love to get to the 50K and then to 100K. And then, onwards and upwards. We don't know where it could take us.
Yeah, so now, are we hashtag road to 50?
Oh God, I hate those road to 50.
I knew you were gonna say that.
God,
I knew you were gonna say that.
We are on the road to heaven, I guess. I mean, God, no.
Hashtag road to 50K. Here we go.
Oh God.
Love it.
No, thank you, please.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We try our best to bring conversations that can also be uncomfortable for us. There's definitely, especially when you tell me how sometimes what I say affects you, I am extremely uncomfortable. But I try to breathe through that because these are important conversations. I think these are important conversations in friendships as well. Like if you guys are not sensitive, you're different sizes in a friendship, and you're constantly you're not sensitive. I hope this gives you guys a good perspective from both sides, so that you can know how to walk in those friendships together, or in the people around you.
Absolutely.
But lots of love, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next episode. Mwah.